Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by the 2024 Phoenix Rising season is presented by Equality Health. And tonight's Military Appreciation Night is presented by Equality Health, and it's a beautiful evening for some USL Championship soccer between Phoenix Rising FC and Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. Welcome to the Valley of the Sun. Killian McClatchy, my partner for this evening, as always, Joe Lowry. And Joe, these are two clubs. We'll start with Phoenix, picking up a big 3 points last week and an opportunity, you have to imagine, going up against a struggling Pittsburgh squad early this season. Yeah, a chance of Rising to win their first 2 games back-to-back of the entire 2024 season. Just 1 goal so far for Bob Lilly's team. This is an exceedingly winnable game for Phoenix. Well, Phoenix, they got the game-winning goal last week. We're going to give you the player to watch to start off with. It's the captain, John Stenberg, making just his 3rd start tonight back from injury. Yeah, John Stenberg scored a goal in the USL Championship final for Phoenix Rising last season. And what does he do in his first game in front of the home fans in 2024? He scores a game winner. Give him a salute from the captain, a team of the week selection from last week. Over on the other side, the visitors, it's going to be one of the men up top. This is a club, they've only scored 1 goal. It came by the boot of this man, Edward Kizza.
Yeah, Edward Kizza's having to step up into a big role for Pittsburgh this season. The club loses Albert Dikwa to Rhode Island in the offseason. Dikwa was the leading goal scorer in the entire USL Championship last year, won the Golden Boot with 20. Kizza has big shoes to fill.
Here's his 1 goal that he scored a few weeks ago back against Louisville City. Nice little cross in. He's going to be a big part of this Pittsburgh club, trying to turn things around, currently sitting in last place in the East.
And that goal against Lou City comes in a transition moment. It's a bit of pressing on the left side. That is how this Pittsburgh Riverhounds team wants to play. They want to play in transition. We're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Playing 5 in the back today as we are getting ready for opening kickoff. We got starting lineups coming up next. You're watching USL Championship Soccer from the Valley of the Sun. We'll be right back.
There's satisfaction in sacrifice, in spilling blood, sweat, and tears, in knowing that you left it all on the floor and never threw in the towel. Well, except to clean up the mess. Giving it all for your team is worth every drop. Modelo, brewed for fans with a fighting spirit.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hold.
Hold.
Silver vans are going for more right now. Should we?
Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Depreciation's really heating up. You think?
Hold!
We just did 2.5%.
Hold! Now!
I'm on it.
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
Your health shouldn't depend on where you live, which language you speak, or the size of your paycheck. Everyone deserves access to high-quality care for a healthy life. At Equality Health, we partner with primary care providers to break down barriers to care and build healthy communities. Better health for all, the real game-winning goal. Equality Health is the season-presenting sponsor of the Phoenix Rising and proud sponsor of the Rising Community Soccer Clinics.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health, by Carvana, and by Northern Arizona University. Welcome back into Phoenix at 38th in Washington as the USL Championship is on ESPN Plus and AZ Family Streaming. Phoenix Rising and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Killian McClatchy, Joe Lowry. Here's the starting 11. We're going to start with the hosts, fresh off of 3 points a week ago. This is the 11 that they're going to be rolling with. A little bit of a mix-up from last week.
Yeah, we're expecting the same general formation from Phoenix Rising, that 4-2-3-1 shape, but a couple of tweaks. We've got Jose Andres Hernandez back in the midfield next to Renzo Zambrano. Gabby Torres, who started on the right wing last weekend. We're likely to see him at left back tonight with Erickson Gallardo popping up on the right side. Still no Panos Armanakis. He's on the bench tonight.
Yeah, I expect to see Armanakis off the bench. He was a big kind of super sub last week for head coach Danny Stone. As we flip over to the other side, this is a Bob Lilly coach team. Pittsburgh Riverhounds still looking for their first win after a great year a season ago. Expect to see 5 at the back a lot of the time tonight.
Bob Lilly has really leaned into that shape, continued to lean into that shape in 2024. We're expecting to see Junior Itu popping up at left wing back and Sean Suber getting his first start of the year. We're likely to see him on the right side of defense, moving up and down the wing.
Now watch for Kizza and Sterling, the two strikers up at the top of this formation, trying to find some way to score some goals. A club that's only scored once all season long. As we have our Spooner availability report for tonight. as both teams at full strength, which is good to see. Nobody out. Emi Quaisho back available after his red card, had to miss last week. And then Pittsburgh, this is a club coming in pretty healthy for both sides.
Yeah, it's a good start for Phoenix Rising, finally getting everybody back and available for tonight. We saw Ale Funmayor come off the bench last weekend to make his first appearance of 2024. Danny Stone at the end of the game going with 5 pure center backs on the field all at the same time. Not expecting to see that again tonight, but it is a sign of a team finding themselves again.
And now here it is time. This is what I wait for every week. It's Lowry's Lowdown. Give it to us, Joe.
Killian Flattery works every time for Phoenix Rising. It's about finding space outside of the midfield 3 on Bob Lilly's side. Pittsburgh play with this 5-3-2 shape. What does that mean? Well, it means their midfield is very, very narrow. Instead of playing with a 4 or a 5, it will be likely a flat 3 tonight. There'll be opportunities for Phoenix Rising to create overloads on the wings. And for Pittsburgh, your strength is in the spine. You're clearly committing numbers in that part of the field instead of necessarily in the wide areas. Play through Danny Griffin, find ability to play forward through that midfield group, and look into the front too.
Now look at the form for this Pittsburgh club coming into it. They've pulled away with draws in each of the last 2 0-0 matches against Rhode Island and Tampa Bay, but before that struggled to get the season going as they gave up 6 goals in the first 3 games. As there is Danny Stone coming into tonight, his club in a decent bit of form coming off the victory a week ago. Just about ready to go for kickoff. The visitors donning the yellow tops and the gray shorts. There's Bob Lilly, a veteran of the USL Championship, certainly knows this league, knows American soccer like the back of his hand, and his club is ready to kick it off. Rising donning the all red. So we are just about ready for kickoff here in Phoenix, and another beautiful night. Couldn't ask for better weather, not a cloud in the sky, and the heat has subsided. As you look at last week for Phoenix, that 1-0 victory over Colorado Springs, another side who's struggled at the early point of this season. Phoenix had plenty of opportunities. It seemed like they dominated really from the opening whistle. As Pittsburgh looking to try and create something, getting a ball played up on the left wing as touched out, and it will be a goal kick. But Phoenix, only 1 goal coming away from last week in a match that you kind of felt like they probably should have a couple more.
Yeah, they had good looks out of that 4-2-3-1 shape, but Danny Stone generally came away pleased. He talked about it in his midweek media availability. Liked the areas that they found, even if those areas and those movements into those spaces didn't always result into clear-cut chances. He viewed last weekend as progress, as I think this club should as they continue to move forward. A chance to make it the first back-to-back win stretch of the season so far.
Defending champions in the postseason, going up against the regular season champions in Pittsburgh. His club 67 points a year ago and took the top spot in a loaded Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they won the Players' Shield last season, the most points in the USL Championship. Bob Lilly had a day named after him in the city of Pittsburgh, November 20th, 2023. Coach Bob Lilly Day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They had a great regular season. Could not carry that momentum into the playoffs. Lost in the first round over in the Eastern Conference, 1-0 at the hands of Detroit City. And that 1-0 scoreline, Killian, I think is telling for where this Pittsburgh group is right now, especially this year. Almost something that talked about things to come in 2024. You lose Albert Dikwa over the offseason to the expansion side, Rhode Island FC. All of a sudden, you're missing your Golden Boot winner. You have Keziah Sterling coming in. He started the last 2 games, 3 straight tonight with this appearance. This Pittsburgh's team is still trying to find themselves, even with a lot of continuity around these new looks and these new players. Bob Lilly is certainly someone, as you mentioned, who knows this league.
Yeah, 19-5-10 a year ago, starting 0-3-2 this year. And it's something that we've kind of said a little bit about Phoenix as well, as this early portion of the season, Phoenix gotten some opportunities against some clubs not necessarily playing their best, as there's a whistle, bit of a handball from Phoenix, so it'll be a free kick for Pittsburgh. In the same sense for Pittsburgh, you don't want to fall too far behind in what looks like a pretty loaded Eastern Conference this year.
Yeah, a lot of top contenders over in the Eastern Conference. You have time a little bit in the USL Championship to find your footing early on to become the team that you know you can be. Pittsburgh certainly have higher aspirations than the 2 points they picked up through 5 games so far. but you don't have a ton of time, especially in the Eastern Conference, Rising, of course, in their own way, having similar situations out here in the West, even with better results early on. Killian, so far early in this game, we're seeing that 4-2-3-1 shape that we talked about when the lineup graphic was up on your screen. We're seeing Darius Romella over on the left. We're seeing Erickson Gallardo start on the right side, and Gabby Torres is indeed popping up at left back in this back four. Danny Stone clearly saw things that he liked last weekend, giving the same look another run out.
This one touchdown as Varela tries to play one through to Gallardo as it's a foot race over to that far corner that Gallardo's not going to be able to win. Kizza, a bit of a heavy touch, but able to keep possession. Sample knocks through, nice through ball, but just too far out.
And those are the kind of sequences that Pittsburgh want when they win the ball in their own half. Hey, can we go and play into a member of the front two? At times tonight, it's almost looking like a front three as Robbie Mertz pushes forward from the right side of central midfield. Can we play into our spine? Can we play some sort of up, back, and through combination? That's what the bread and butter is going to be for this Riverhounds team. It just hasn't quite clicked so far. The talent, though, is there for them to get some real looks in the final third.
Torres going to let this one go for Fomella. That one pitched. Somehow, coincidentally, just went right back to his chest as Torres plays back to Jose Andres Hernandez. One thing that you will see, and we were kind of talking about it before the match, this is a Bob Lilly side. They're hard to score against for the most part. It's a little slip up in a collision now as a whistle is Fede Varela. Just a bit of an unfortunate collision right there.
Fede Varela holding that left leg. He's been getting crucial minutes at the number 10 spot. Tries to get on the ball from John Stenenberg, does so. A little bit of a challenge there from Robbie Mertz, but it looks like Varela's back up on his feet.
That was one of the studs up, but Varela slipped into it. No malintent from anybody on that side.
It's a fascinating discussion right now, Killian, surrounding Phoenix Rising's number 10 position. Panos Armanakis was the best chance creator in the USL Championship last year. Based on expected assists, he started the opening stages of this season, the last two games, as soon as Danny Stone moved to this 4-2-3-1 shape and away from the double tens. It's been Fede Varela, a good player who can string passes together. Maybe doesn't have quite the same dynamism as a Panos Armanakis.
Torres puts it into the middle and a running strike off the volley in a collision inside the box, and no opportunity there. Is speak of that 10, Fede Varela right there.
Speaking of dynamism, Varela using some to get in the box, get on the end of that cross from Gabby Torres. A nice bit of service on the outswinger from Torres on the left side. That's good box crashing from Varela, who's been really involved so far tonight. And Killian, that's what he needs to do. Right, playing the number 10 role is a big job in any team. It's an especially big job for a Phoenix Rising side that is light on wingers. Erickson Gallardo starting on the right tonight is maybe the only pure winger that's in this entire Phoenix Rising squad. When you don't have that, the game becomes more narrow, right? And all of a sudden it's on Varela to be the guy that picks the lock, to be the guy that finds that tight little window to pass through, to play Remy Cabral in behind, or to play Darius Romella in behind, making that outside in run on the left. Varela has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, and so far tonight, he's looked sharp.
Sample is Pittsburgh working around the midfield. A little bit of pressure being applied from Phoenix. Played up, turnover. Zambrano right to his feet. Here is Gallardo. Gallardo wants to go at goal and just over the crossbar. A long-range look from a club that scored just one goal a year ago from outside the 18. Having a look at it.
It was a theme last weekend, Killian. In that 1-0 win, a lot of shots from distance for Phoenix Rising, settling. Well, maybe they could have found a better look one or two passes away. Gallardo tries his luck early on tonight. I'm fascinated to see, as the evening wears on, are we going to see more and more of those long shots, or do they dial in and look for that extra pass?
Minor fans, the USL is on CBS Networks, and it continues here in the month of April, so go ahead and mark your calendar for Saturday, April 27th, as Tampa Bay Rowdies clash with New Mexico United at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. This one played in, touched just a little too far away from Kizu, tries to double back for it, but nice defense. Cleared it, but not all the way out, as Andreas Hernandez sends it away. Cabral comes flying in. Torres settles back on the edge of the 18. Can't speak enough to how Darius Formella played a week ago in a bit of an unusual position for him, a little bit more on that wing, like you said. He's been kind of that guy up top, back to the goal. But he did really nicely, I thought.
Yeah, he was excellent last weekend in that 1-0 win. 39% of the play for Phoenix Rising went through the left vertical third of the field, compared to just 33% on the right side. Formella really was the key man for Phoenix last weekend. He was the guy helping start attacks. He was the guy getting on the ball and pulling a lot of the strings against Colorado Springs. He looks really, really sharp in that left-sided attacking midfield role across that band of three. No surprise that we see him in that same spot tonight.
Well, guy scored 12 goals a year ago. Some played up over the head. The captain, Stenberg, elevates to head it back down. Kizza playing a little bit deeper, gives it off to Mertz. Robbie Mertz, the Pittsburgh native. Call a lot of tonight. I started now in every match this year for Pittsburgh in the midfield.
And it's a little bit of an off-kilter shape for Pittsburgh so far through the opening 10 minutes. It's not really this 3-5-2 that we expected to see. Instead, it looks more like a 4-2-3-1 with Robbie Mertz playing as a narrow right-sided winger and Junior Etu getting high on that left side. We're seeing Pittsburgh shift the shape a little bit. Maybe it's to match up with Phoenix Rising in their 4-2-3-1.
Gives in a foot race for Stenberg as Stenberg shoulders off the striker and just kicks it out.
Keep an eye on Robbie Mertz tonight, though. An incredibly skillful player in the final third, one of the more incisive passers, not just in this Pittsburgh squad, but around the USL Championship. Very, very calm on the ball, very comfortable. The same goes for Danny Griffin at the base of midfield, sort of playing on the left side of a double pivot tonight. Those two players can thread balls in behind to Edward Kizza and to Keziah Sterling.
Mertz, as I said, a Pittsburgh native. This is a guy comes by way of Atlanta United system. Played a few years ago, spent 2 years at Atlanta United 2. 11 assists over the course of his 2 years there. Well, bounce around and now a whistle and a foul on Pittsburgh. So a free kick coming Phoenix's way 10 minutes in.
It's a great turn under pressure here from Renzo Zambrano. He's been the consistent force for Phoenix Rising in central midfield. As we've seen Julio Doratioto start next to him, we've seen Jose Andres Hernandez start next to him. He's back in the starting lineup, Hernandez, tonight. Zambrano really is the rock for Phoenix Rising, whether it's been the 3-4-3 or the 4-2-3-1 that we're seeing tonight. He is the name in that midfield group that is written in pen.
Formella slips trying to play that through ball into Remy Cabral, the man up top. Leading goal scorer for this club this season. Now trying to apply a little bit of pressure with a heavy pass, but collected nicely by Danny Griffin in the midfield as he brings it forward. Lay off to the left side, crossed in, but that one goes nowhere as keeper Rocco Rios Novo able to calmly collect the new ball. As an easy weekend last weekend for the Argentinian.
Not a lot to do against Colorado Springs. He'll be hoping for the same tonight. Rocco Rios Nova always seems to find a way to get himself involved on the ball. In terms of shot stopping, he'll be hoping for another quiet night. And that has been one of the major strengths for Phoenix Rising. Even as the goal scoring faucet is turned on and turned off and turned on and turned off, their defensive ability, outside of that away game against Tulsa where they wavered on set pieces, defensively they've been very, very strong, whether it's been the three, whether it's been the back four. John Stenberg coming back into this team, taking a little time to get adjusted. He called his performance against Tulsa a couple of weekends ago rusty, and I think he's right about that. Now he's back. Potmore Boy continues to look very, very sharp in the back line. Pittsburgh so far, not a lot of threatening looks against this rising back four.
You mentioned Stenberg coming back, being rusty. A story came out just the other week about Stenberg's offseason, going through valley fever. It was a tough road and a tough offseason for him. On this Phoenix side, glad to have him back and back at full strength finally.
Yep. And he's still finding his way, right? You see a turnover there just a few seconds ago. Still trying to find his rhythm on the ball, still trying to figure out exactly when and how aggressively to step into midfield. Those are things that as a veteran come back quickly, but it still takes time to come back. Pop Marboy, though, certainly, the young center back, played 1 year at Clemson last year in the NCAA. Still such a young player and new to this position and new to this level. Pop Marboy has to be enjoying playing alongside the veteran.
Speaking of which, there was Marboy heading that one out from the edge of the box as Zambrano plays it back to the captain.
As Phoenix Rising win that ball back, there's a chance to go with a little bit more purpose in their possession. They're sort of missing early on through the first 14 minutes of this game. They're missing that drive to go quickly and expose Pittsburgh. Because if you let the Riverhounds get back in their defensive shape, which is what they like to do, they're very, very comfortable absorbing. It's going to be harder to find looks.
Here's Formel with an opportunity on the left wing. Gets himself off to the right. Chipped up and towards the keeper as leaping up into the air and coming down with it. Eric Dick, the man between the sticks tonight.
Getting a little bit of pressure here from Phoenix Rising. It's not been something they've gone to a ton so far in 2024, and even now you can see it's not this full top end, sort of really all out high pressure from this Rising side. It's about trying to find maybe an opportunity to pounce on a missed pass, otherwise retreating back into this 4-4-1-1 mid block. Rising not a ton of that aggressive pressure to start this year. Maybe room to add that as the year progresses.
Varela with a turnover in the middle. Intercepted. Cabral turns right back onto it though, and Cabral gets a tug from behind. An easy foul, and we'll see what a head referee does end up with a booking.
Danny Griffin protesting there. Remy Cabral, a little misplay, but ends up getting back into this one. And it's Alalo Sumanu who comes in from behind. Little pull on Remy Cabral's shoulder. That's a good call from the referee.
Well, Sumanu picks up the first booking of the night 15 minutes in.
He started all 5 games for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds so far this year. Osumanu, this is 6 tonight. He's been a rock on the right side of Bob Lilly's back line. An early fault from him just 15 minutes into this one.
Varela, a little chip towards the back post, looking for Pop Marboy. Couldn't get it all the way through to him, but Gallardo going to collect. Send a low cross back in as Marboy still in the box. Pop Marboy pretending he's a striker for these few moments, still up at the top. Phoenix trying to pressure, find this first goal. Torres crosses one in towards the back post as Marboy was there and headed it right into the arms of Dick.
Gabby Torres has been dangerous getting forward on that left side for Phoenix Rising tonight. Back to his more comfortable left after starting higher on the right wing last weekend against Colorado Springs. Nice separation from the defender there. Gets his left foot around the ball, bending it towards the back post for Pop Marboy. That's a nice look for Phoenix.
Pop Marboy, the guy in eFootball 2024, he's changing his own position, moving him up high.
Put me up there, coach.
We saw him take a shot a few weekends ago, probably looking at Danny Stone saying, you know, maybe let me give me a shot up there in training, coach.
Well, he sees John Stenberg getting the game winner last weekend against Colorado Springs. Wants to get in on the action. I can't blame him. This, though, Killian, is where Pittsburgh are so comfortable. Back in this block, it is a 4-4-2 tonight rather than that 5-3-2. But they love shifting side to side. They love absorbing pressure. Then trying to play through Kiza, trying to play through Sterling and Mertz on the break.
That one touched out. Remember, fans, when it comes to a sports injury, the unknown can be unsettling. There is one thing that can calm that uncertainty, and it's an answer. Mayo Clinic uncovers answers every single day through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. Those answers can lead to more answers and define a path forward. So if you're looking for answers related to a sports injury, you know where to go. Learn more at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. Touchdown. Wyke playing higher up now, being pestered from behind, still with the ball at his feet. Finally gets it away.
I'm impressed at how Lawrence Wyke has looked as this right back in a back four. Maybe not quite his optimal position. I think he's better as an outside center back in a 3, but someone who's looked fairly comfortable shifting forward, finding opportunities on the overlap or on the underlap. He's going to play off of Gallardo on that side. If Gallardo wants to go wide, Wyke will tuck in. If Gallardo wants to tuck in, Wyke is going to go wider. He's going to be that differential option on the right side, and that fits him well. He's not going to be this really dynamic, attacking threat in terms of goals and assists, but finding someone who can help with the spacing in the attack is a real asset for Danny Stone.
Gallardo tried to thread that one through, but an excellent job by the middleman, Pat Hogan, to knock that away. Phoenix still, though, pressuring outside of the foot as Formella thought somebody was behind him and let it go through.
The balance on the wings for Phoenix, I think, has been sharp so far tonight. Gabby Torres with a couple of nice bits of service, overlapping from left back. Gallardo getting the ball on that right foot. Lawrence Wyke finding himself into the game. Formella and Cabral haven't been especially involved, which is the next progression. As you find balance on the wings, okay, all of a sudden the question becomes, how do we find our number 9? How do we find our second forward, left winger type in Darius Formella? Those players still waiting to find their moments to influence the game.
You've got a guy like Remy Cabral. We spoke about it plenty a week ago. He was very good. Didn't end up coming away with a goal, but had a few opportunities. Hit the post on a long shot. As they're going to try to feed one through to him, and there it is. Cabral, right foot, and just wide. Dick might have gotten a fingertip on it to poke it just far enough away, and it looks like he did. It'll bring up a corner kick.
What a save this is from Eric Dick, but what a through ball from Fede Varela. Remy Cabral with a great first touch to cushion that ball, to give him a chance to hit it with his right foot. Dick extending down to his right. That's a Phoenix Rising corner, a good look from Phoenix.
First Carvana corner kick, proud sponsor of the Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy as Fede Varela ready to put his right boot through this one. Sends it in all the trees on the edge of the 6. Headed down and up and over the top of goal, and they'll reset it one more time.
Phoenix Rising looking dangerous early on these passes in from the left wing. Fede Varela causing some problems there. Potmar Boyd getting involved in the action. Of course, John Stenberg involved last weekend on a set piece.
Another Carvana corner kick. And went from our boy at the back post, as now have a quick conversation as Erickson Gallardo being told the space he currently occupies must be vacated.
That's what you get told when you come into the stadium, killing your parking spot.
That's a fact. I finally found the right one. Here's Varela. Another one swinging towards the back post. Not far enough away. Zambrano plays it down. Andreas Hernandez, poor touch, and he's going to have to chase it down. Varela gets it back to his right foot. Crossed in, looking for Marboy. Can't get it through to him as Dick came soaring through to snag it out of the air.
Feels like one's coming for Potmar Boyd at the back post, whether it's him or maybe Erickson Gallardo making that weak side accent run. Fede Varela coming out of midfield, rising with a lot of nice looks early on from these left-sided crosses.
There's Robbie Mertz bringing it up the right wing. Sample and tried to go right back to Mertz. Played it behind. This is some miscommunication between the new midfielders. Bit of frustration being shown from Sample as he goes for the slide tackle and takes it down. Definitely a frustration foul taken out from Bradley Sample.
That's so good from Renzo Zambrano on the dribble. A guy who can do a little bit of everything in central midfield. Maybe doesn't pop when you watch him, isn't threading through ball after through ball out of that space. But man, he can progress the ball with his passing and clearly can do so on the dribble.
Formella wants one on the outside of his boot. No luck on that one as it was right at the keeper. Phoenix certainly getting their opportunities here in the first 25 minutes.
Yeah, this is how Danny Stone wants the first half of the first half to go. You want to win each individual segment, whether it's 10, 15, 22 and a half minutes. Those are the things that you use to think about the game, to try and figure out, okay, do we have the momentum on our side? Are we creating chances like we want to after our training this weekend? So far, so good from Phoenix.
Sample played back. Pittsburgh trying to build up a little bit and quell some of this pressure they've been facing over the last 5 or so minutes.
And they've got Pittsburgh almost that 1v1 up top of that 2v2.
Here's Sterling working his way forward. He's got Kizza trying to find somewhere to go. Lays it off for Kizza. Kizza right foot and well wide. Well struck. But it didn't go anywhere as a booking comes in, looks like for John Stenberg. It was something for a little bit earlier on in the play as Etzo a little slow to get up back behind him.
Phoenix Rising playing a little bit with fire there. Pop Marboy and John Stenberg in the back. In that moment, it was Stenberg and Gabby Torres who get isolated up top with Keziah Sterling and Edward Kizza. Stenberg's in midfield, Pop Marboy back trying to deal with Keziah Sterling, the former Tottenham man. When Sterling and Kizza get going on the break, those players are dangerous. Rising dealing with this sort of parity in the back right now with that 2v2.
2 men up top. Kizza from Uganda. Last season came over from England Revolution. Guy, a local product as well. Played college ball at the University of Pittsburgh. And you got Sterling, as you mentioned, the former Tottenham man. Saw an appearance in a Champions League match for the hometown club, Tottenham Hotspur.
You can see it now at the top of your screen. Sterling and Kizza sort of floating around Pop Marboy and John Stenberg. Those two have been sharp so far defensively this season, are going to have to be tonight, dealing with what sort of morphed into this 4-2-2 shape from Bob Lilly.
Pittsburgh doing a better job these last few minutes, controlling the possession after that chance.
Watch Robbie Mertz on the weak side, coming into that right half space, even drifting all the way centrally, finding space behind Darius Romello on the left side of Phoenix's block, midfield block of 4, but also outside of Jose Andres Hernandez, sort of floating in no man's land. That's a good sign for Pittsburgh, a bad one for Rising.
Super played it back over, threaded through, down low, little back heel, and back of the net. Keziah Sterling, the Hotspurs former, finds the first goal of the night.
It's a great finish from Keziah Sterling and a lovely bit of build-up play from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Robbie Mertz with that nice right-footed through ball into Kizza. A little flick to Keziah Sterling. Completely carves open the Phoenix Rising defensive structure. And it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Little touch of class off that back heel from Kizza to Keziah Sterling. The Englishman who scored 30 goals over the course of 2 seasons with South Georgia Tormenta, has his first for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
It's a fascinating story. Keziah Sterling playing for Tottenham, gets that appearance in the Champions League in the group stage for a big club. Ends up getting some loans down to the English lower leagues, ends up then coming across the Atlantic. Plays in USL League One, has a success story there, comes up to the USL Championship. 3 straight starts for him, gets Pittsburgh's second goal of 2024.
A much needed one as Pittsburgh has this 1-0 lead. First goal they've scored in a couple weeks, second on the year. As Rising will look to try and find an answer 27 minutes in. Our boy sends that one through for Remy Cabral. Cabral to his left foot. Cabral answers right back.
Remy Cabral, his 3rd goal of 2024, slipping into the box, finishes with the weak foot. An incredible response from Phoenix Rising. Remy Cabral likes to slash in behind. That is a huge part of his game. He does so with skill and finesse in that moment off of The pass from Pop Marboy, a player who's still finding himself on the ball in 2024. Great composure from Marboy. Great composure inside the box from Remy Cabral. That is what the striker is here to do. 1-1.
19 a year ago and the co-Golden Boot winner in MLS. Next Pro has his third and the equalizer. Took less than 2 minutes to pull us back level.
And it's the firepower that we know is in both of these teams.
Now another opportunity. Sterling tries to chip Rios Novo. Deep breaths, Joe, deep breaths.
Deep breaths for Danny Stone on the sidelines. Gonna be having trouble controlling his heart rate right now. Risky in the back from Phoenix. Good work from Rocco Rios Novo coming up big.
A mistake led to that one. You could see Rios Novo unsure whether to come all the way out or stay back as Sterling tried to get a little cheeky and go over the top.
Now's the time if you're Phoenix Rising. Don't ease off the gas in possession, but take a breath. Take a couple of breaths.
Cabral looking, but Formella sets it down. The ball looks like it bobbled on him as he chested it down to himself. That first goal from Pittsburgh, and it has opened things up.
Formella just can't quite get his instep around that ball to bend it into the top right corner. He's had a couple of wayward efforts with that final ball tonight. That's not an easy one to direct on frame.
Fans Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many other elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. As a ball sent through, but the flag is up offside. As Pop Marboy, a little heated on that far side of the defensive line.
And this is why I say catch your breath, right? To avoid those little simple mistakes in the back that Pittsburgh want, right? Against Louisville City, that 3-1 loss away at Lynn Family Stadium. Their only goal coming into tonight's matchup, they score in transition. They score off of a bad turnover from Louis City on the right side, the left side for Pittsburgh. Those are the kind of moments you want to avoid tonight after getting picked apart, frankly, by a nice bit of possession play in the final third.
Right through as White lets it bounce over his head as he'll chase it down and collect.
How about that response, though, from Phoenix Rising? Just mere moments after the opener from Pittsburgh. Having the ability to go and influence the game. Remy Cabral looking for space in behind. The second time he's made that run tonight. The first off that through ball from Fede Varela. Draws a great save from Eric Dick. This time makes no mistake in the box. Slots it home.
Right in the middle for Formella. Goes for a long shot but deflected down. Trying to go back the other way is Sterling. And Sterling with an errant kick, and there'll be an advantage played. Phoenix keeps possession though, so no whistle. Chipped ahead looking for Gallardo, but headed up. White comes in to help out the attack, and it'll be taken out of touch, and it'll be another Carvana corner kick, this time on the far side of the pitch for Phoenix.
Pittsburgh defending these corner kicks with a mixture of man marking and zonal marking. We see a lot of those hybrid defensive schemes on corner kicks specifically all around the world now. Rising has had good success peeling off with that clump of bodies that we're going to see just inside the top of the box, peeling off with a runner or two to the back post.
All the big bodies. We got Marboy, Stenberg, Cabral, and Formella. White but through it. Looking for Stenberg this time. Jose Andres Hernandez chests it down. Bit of a strong touch, and it'll be cleared away. So the danger avoided, at least for the moment.
And there's that run from Stenberg, sort of peeling off towards the weak side of the box. Rising continuing to look for that action.
So Stenberg picked up the game winner last weekend. Touch through to play Gallardo, and now Gallardo pestering. So clear that one away. Biasi, who for Georgia native.
Look at how narrow that Pittsburgh block is. There's space for those quick release balls out to the wingbacks, out to the wingers.
Set down in the middle, Cabral. At the goal already tonight for Phoenix. There's a heavy touch. There'll be a quick throw in as White wants to get it back going quickly. That's Sterling in the 26th. Cabral answered right back in the 28th. Chipped ahead, that one going nowhere. There's Marboy, will play with his backline mate. And the captain, Sterling. What a ball. Varela, right in the middle, has two yellow jerseys converge, gets it away.
John Stenberg helping Rising keep the tempo, helping them boost the tempo in possession. That's a huge part of what he's here to do, Killian. Get the ball on that left foot, spray passes between the lines.
Kind of get the feeling that Phoenix is just prodding, looking for another opening here. Gallardo comes across, low one, slid down. Nice knockaway as Cabral launches another one through the right foot.
Remy Cabral feeling himself tonight at 38th and Washington. Erickson Gallardo tries for the cutback, can't quite thread it through to Cabral, but such a quick reaction from number 91 for Phoenix Rising, pouncing on that one and unleashing a strike with that right foot.
Tight angle shot, nowhere really for it to go. Another Carvana corner kick. This one back post looking for Stenberg, who got a head to it, but unable to direct it towards goal.
Another look from John Stenberg on that exact same action. Peeling off towards the backside of the box. Phoenix Rising getting looks from those set pieces.
I just want to remind you, Phoenix Rising Soccer brought to you in part by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. So 1-1 over a half hour played at 38th in Washington. Killian McClatchy, Joe Lowry, as Torres calls for a ball but can't get it over to him all the way. Nice job by Suber coming to intercept that and knock it out.
That was nicely done from Sean Suber. John Stenberg clearly looking for Gabby Torres as Darius Formella pins in that Pittsburgh backline to create space on the left wing. The timing just not quite there for Rising with that possession move.
Formella unable to keep possession. Dick sends it high into the night sky. As Torres shoulders off, nicely done, keeping Kizza behind him. This one played ahead for Cabral. Flag stays down for the moment. And Cabral did get going a little too early.
And that comes to the territory for Remy Cabral. You live with that if you're Phoenix Rising. He's at his best, making those direct runs in behind the opposing backline. He'd much rather slash in behind the come and drop and combine and really work with his central midfielders. It's what Cabral is really, really good at, and you end up with some offside calls as a result.
Big smile on the face of the Parisian. Out of France, I mentioned Colorado Rapids 2 a year ago. MLS Next Pro co-Golden Boot winner. Leading goal scorer for this Phoenix side. Long run for everybody involved. It'll be out for a throw to Phoenix.
Phoenix Rising off of these throw-ins on the wing can look for that quick switch. Move the ball from right to left, play through Gabby Torres, play through Darius Formella, who still hasn't had his fingerprints on much of this first half. There's opportunities to switch that play quickly.
Novo getting himself out and involved in the build-up. Torres making a long run. Great ball placed in by Stenberg if Torres can get to it. He does. Low cross in, but checked up and high out of the 18 as Mertz starts bringing it back the other direction. Chipped ahead, but Rios Novo well off his line to come play that one.
Gabby Torres continuing to look for that run on the left side, whether it's over the top or to feet.
Gallardo, beautiful touch to keep possession. Loses defender, some room, 3 red jerseys in the box. Back post, Formella on the volley. Can't get behind it.
That's a good run on the weak side from Darius Formella. A really, really difficult one to put on frame. You're happy he gets in the spot in the first place. How good is this, though, from Erickson Gallardo? Finding space on that right side. He's had some nice service from the right wing with his right foot, playing those out-swinging crosses.
You saw Varela in the middle calling for the ball, a little frustrated. He didn't get it played into him. Thought he had a good opportunity as well.
Sometimes you make that run, though. You make the first run, even the second run, to create space for the second run or the third run, right? That's part of being that box crasher as a number 10. Sometimes you're going to make the run and not going to reap the results.
White tries to get back. Zatu was up there providing and helping out. But too strong, can't collect it, and it'll out for a goal kick.
Phoenix Rising really building in this 4-2-4 shape with the wingers high and wide. Now we see Gallardo tuck inside a little bit, trying to find those overloads on the wing to then hit some of the crosses or hit some of the cutbacks that we've seen so far tonight.
Stenberg right in the middle for Varela. Varela threads one through. Cabral trying to get the foot race. Dick comes sliding all the way out, right up the edge of the 18. Cabral thought it might have been outside of it. See, it's right up against it.
Just enough there from Eric Dick. Former Phoenix Rising FC goalkeeper Eric Dick back in the Valley of the Sun.
Dick, the Roland Park, Kansas native. Some time back in 2020, a couple matches for this Rising side. Guy was a former first-round pick. MLS Super Draft by Sporting KC. Spent some time with Minnesota United. Found himself what he hopes to be a regular starting spot here in Pittsburgh. Formella trying to go 1-2 with Torres as Torres gets taken out on a late tackle. Trying to draw a whistle, they don't give it to him. Stenberg comes up and sets one down for Zambrano. White. Chip back in behind as Fede Varela was waiting on it. It will be another Carvana corner kick.
That's good play and possession from Phoenix Rising. Finding space wide, finding space through the middle. Gabby Torres hoping he gets a little call there. Unintentional, not a whole lot in that one.
Carvana corner kick of the night. Carvana, proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. So Andreas Hernandez coming close. They're going to send it in the middle. Popmar boy leaping through there, can't get to it. Gallardo turns on the Jets to try and chase down. Pittsburgh trying to counter. This one laid through at 2. As White does a nice job, just sends that one 8 rows deep.
Gallardo comes in a little too hot there, doing great work to track back from his position, attacking that set piece, but comes in just a little too strong on that challenge.
Gallardo booked. A free kick to Pittsburgh. Kizza will take it. Sample misplay right back to the foot of Kizza. Kizza gets pushed off just by a bit from Popmar boy. Trying to switch sides as that one is out. Mertz unable to keep it.
Popmar boy seems to know that balance of how much he can push how much he can extend, how much he can shove without it going over the top and resulting in a foul, a free kick, a yellow, whatever it is. Marboy has that veteran savvy despite being this just his first year.
It's something that's certainly impressive from a young man who was a freshman in college a year ago at Clemson, stepping into his first full-time professional role, elected to sign this professional contract instead of staying in college, electing to go through the super draft.
So far, so good for him. He's a lockdown starter for one of the most ambitious clubs in the USL Championship. The upward mobility for him is excellent as he continues to help this rising team push for trophies.
Sample slips a little bit on that, but it goes all the way through. Sterling, who already has one goal tonight. That one deflected off and nearly put a little scare in the rising supporters.
Well, there's another moment of just what we were talking about, Killian. Pop Marboy getting a little contact into Keziah Sterling, pushing him off a little bit, getting him off balance. That's great work from the young center back.
Marboy with the ball at his feet. The guy who's the defensive MVP in the College Cup. Ultimately coming home as a national champion with that Clemson side a year ago. It's no surprise that he's playing well, though. It was one of the many selected to the young players to watch list before the season started from the USL Championship. Julio Dortiotto, another one on this rising club. This one sent in, but well over the top. And it's out for a goal kick. So 2 minutes added on here at the end of this first half in a 1-1 match.
It's been quite the first half, Killian. Some fireworks at both ends of this game tonight. Phoenix Rising continuing to push for that second goal. They've had the better of the play since that flurry of action in the 20s. Looking for a second.
Intercepted. Fede Varela. Goes it off for White, who switches direction this turn from the Englishman. Switches ends. Torres heads it up as Formella just going to play it back to Stenberg. Torres. He's got Formella in front of him. Tried to chip it over instead of playing it on the ground, and it's taken away. Pittsburgh trying to go back the other direction.
That left side still trying to find themselves for Phoenix Rising. Gabby Torres has been dangerous on the overlap, but it doesn't look like he and Darius Formella are totally comfortable playing off of each other, still trying to read the other, figure out where they're going to be at any given moment.
Smano with the ball at the back. Touchdown, laid ahead. Beautiful little touch as Griffin working his way forward. Griffin waiting for some help, has Kizza overlap him. Likes to pull it out as Phoenix able to come and get some more red bodies back at the edge of that 18 and reset the defense.
Danny Griffin so sharp moving off the ball. Makes that run in behind as the 9 drops. So savvy in midfield.
Phoenix thought there's a handball on Pittsburgh. Plenty of arms went up, no whistle though. And that is the end of the first 45. An exciting first 45 as 2 goals in 2 minutes has us at a 1-1 first half. Keziah Sterling in the 26th and then Remy Cabral in the 28th is where we stand here on the final match of the night here in the USL Championship as we go to the half. Don't go anywhere. Got halftime coming up from Phoenix. Back heel and back of the net. Cabral with left foot. Cabral
Your health shouldn't depend on where you live, which language you speak, or the size of your paycheck, everyone deserves access to high-quality care for a healthy life. At Equality Health, we partner with primary care providers to break down barriers to care and build healthy communities. Better health for all, the real game-winning goal. Equality Health is the season presenting sponsor of the Phoenix Rising and proud sponsor of the Rising Community Soccer Clinics.
Quench your thirst and save big at Circle K, America's Thirst Stop. Soda 12-packs are 2 for $12 or 3 for $15. Select 24-pack bottled water cases are 2 for $7 or 3 for $9. And don't forget to grab one of our famous Polar Pop cups that stays cold longer, starting at just 99 cents. Only at Circle K, your one-stop shop for all your thirst needs. See store for details.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Well, it's finally happening. The robots. They're coming.
Hi, Amory.
Maybe that's a good thing.
She said what? She said what? I was ready like a full 20 minutes before you. What are you talking about?
It drives better than you do, babe.
He does. Bye, robot.
No, extend out.
So left, right. Phoenix Rising are here today, Military Appreciation Week, building a partnership and bring together what they do, what we do, how we support the community, and how the community really supports the Arizona National Guard. They're here right now to see aviation, the best branch.
And then that goes into the hydraulic.
You came looking for a light beer. And you found gold. Modelo Oro. The light beer with a smooth, elevated taste and a clean, crisp finish. Perfect for those who never settle for less than they deserve. Modelo Oro, the gold standard of light beer.
Back in 1-1 for the first 45 in Phoenix. USL Championship. A fantastic first half of action as we're going to show you first up the standings here in the Western Conference, presented by Peoria Nissan. Here it is, Week 7, Sacramento Republic. Currently up right now. We'll give you some of those scores a little bit later on. A 2-0 lead over Orange County. SC, Sacramento Republic continue to try to build that cushion they've got at the top. Phoenix Rising right there in the middle. 8 points coming into the night. Trying to continue to crawl their way back up to the top.
Yeah, margin still thin over in the Western Conference. Room to rise for Phoenix Rising, especially 3 points tonight would go a long way.
It certainly would. That 8 points has them sitting 7th right there in the middle. Not a place they're unfamiliar with, where they went in to the playoffs about a year ago. They were 6th in the Western Conference. Those are your Western Conference standings presented by Peoria Nissan. As it is a 1-1 first half here in Phoenix. We're going to continue on. Look at that. Big bright moon for you here tonight at 38th and Washington. taking a quick break, and I'll be right back.
Phoenix Rising are your reigning national champs, and they're fired up for the 2024 season, so come witness it. Watch your United Soccer League champs battle Sacramento Republic. Saturday, May 4th at 7:30, right here in Central Phoenix off 38th Street in Washington. And only 5 light rail stops from downtown Phoenix and Tempe. Tickets start at just $15. Go to phxrisingfc.com to buy your tickets now. Kickoff Saturday, May 4th at 7:30.
Back in Phoenix, a 1-1. The fans showing out tonight at 38th in Washington, getting themselves some good old food. I can tell you, Joe, I'm a bit of a foodie myself. When you see the smoke coming from the grill down there, you know it's something good getting cooked up.
We were overwhelmed by the wafts of that smoke as we walked in earlier together today, Killian. It smelled so good.
Just putting it out there into the world in case anybody's wondering. We are up here at the top, and no, we will not say no to anything that is brought towards us. As I know it's your favorite time of the year coming up, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Next round getting going May 7th. The round of 32 is set. The draw was just the other day. We found out where everybody's going. This is the final 8 USL teams and the MLS clubs finally being put into the competition here at the round of 32. The regular season champions in Pittsburgh, they got drawn FC Tulsa. They're hosting in Pittsburgh as they'll go back home. Whereas Phoenix Rising, a tough draw for them, a tough group, getting Louisville, Seattle Sounders. They're going to be the hosts in that other match against Louisville, and then Rising got to go all the way to the East Coast, getting to North Carolina as North Carolina FC. As speaking of cups, one of this year's most exciting new events is the USL Jägermeister Cup. This in-season cup competition features USL League One teams in a World Cup style tournament that is sure to thrill fans. This is exactly what you were asking for, Joe. More in-season cup action.
I'm here for it, Killian. I'm absolutely here for this new era for USL League One, giving their clubs a chance to have different types of games in the regular season. World Cup style tournament coming to USL League One. We're going to get some excitement at the end of these matchups. Penalty shootouts determining the winner of draws. Killian, I love this stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be electric. Like you said, a World Cup style, so we're going to go to groups, then we're going to go into a knockout stage. Every single match exclusively on ESPN+, so make sure you've got that ready and dialed up for the USL Jägermeister Cup. That's getting going April 27th and 28th. A little in-season tournament action as it's cup season. It's best time of year. What can you say?
Cup sets, cup season. Killian, I'm here for it.
Well, we're going to continue on. I'm just saying.
They're teasing us.
We're here. Somebody can come this direction. 1-1. We'll be right back with more from halftime from Phoenix.
My name is Remy Cabral, forward for Phoenix Rising FC.
Cabral with an opportunity.
What a move.
Cabral scores! Just like that.
Pass of Cabral. Remy Cabral scores!
It's 2 in a couple of minutes for Cabral. Goal!
I don't like this. I don't know this. Oh no, this one was good. Oh. Everybody. Bro, with football all around my life. I was maybe 7, 8 years old. I remember with my dad and my twin brother, because you know in France, soccer is the #1 sport. That's how I love football. I went to PSG, 13 years old to 17, 18. Then I went to FC Metz, Valenciennes, Los Angeles Galaxy, then Colorado Rapids, then Phoenix Rising. Long journey. Doing France to America, everything is different. Language, the way people are, food. In America, oh, good question. Huh? Would say cinnamon. You know that? Yeah. You know it's good. Regardez. The weather for now is nice. Everyone talk about the summer, but we are not yet. It was in Columbus away, and I played like 10-15 minutes with extra time maybe. But after, you just wake up the next day and say, oh, I want more. Kevin Cabral, my twin, we push each other since we are young. Shyer than me, I'm the crazy one. Me, how I'm gonna say him. He knows, go ask him. Yeah, to play under the pressure, even when you play at home in front of the fans, play with a purpose. I think this is mostly the biggest thing. Always try to be better than the day before.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health, by Carvana, and by Northern Arizona University. Back to 38th and Washington in a 1-1 first 45 between Phoenix Rising and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Killian McClatchy, Joe Lowry up above here in Phoenix as we got some of the first half highlights for you. It was a fun back and forth. Got the scoring started Keziah Sterling in the 26th.
Such a great piece of play from Pittsburgh. Robbie Mertz pulling the strings from that right half space. Keziah Sterling finishing things off in the box.
And the answer just a few minutes later. What a touch of class, though, by his little back heel. But the answer came right away from Phoenix. Remy Cabral, he's been so good this season, leading this team in scoring. It took him just 2 minutes.
He's making that run all night tonight. It's a great bit of work off the ball from Remy Cabral. From a nice, clean forward pass from Pop Marboy as that right-sided center back. Cabral takes no chances with that finish inside the 18.
Those were your halftime highlights presented by Desert Ford Dealers in this 1-1 match, as here are your first half stats. You look at the numbers, you think, okay, Phoenix, they've had the more opportunities. They slotted the one home. Pretty even match, though. This is kind of like one of those boxing matches. Each team kind of just feeling each other out, trying to see where they can go.
Phoenix Rising clearly with the majority of possession. But Killian, to your point, Pittsburgh had looks. Yeah, only 3 shots on the night to Phoenix Rising's 10. That front two of Kizza and Sterling is causing problems in moments for Rising's back four, really against those two center backs for Phoenix. There's still some juice left in this game.
There certainly is. 2 goals as a Pittsburgh club that hadn't scored coming into this season, but once already got the one back in the first 45 as we got the upcoming schedules. A lot coming in for this Rising team. A lot of road games. Got to go to Rhode Island next week, back home against Sacramento Republic. That's going to be a big one that we're going to have here for you at 7:30. Then a busy week. You go at North Carolina, go all the way to Raleigh, and then at Detroit City, a Detroit City club to pick up a big win today.
And that North Carolina game's a midweek matchup. That's going to be on a Wednesday away from home. A lot of miles and a lot of games coming for this club.
Yeah, you got that Sacramento riding right into that midweek North Carolina back on the road. Here's what Pittsburgh has coming up. They've got their Open Cup game as well, but a couple home matches get to be back in Pittsburgh, which will be good. Detroit City, again, the lone home team that actually won today in the USL Championship so far, barring the end result of this one. But they've got Miami FC and then Tulsa in that cup matchup before North Carolina FC comes back to town. Pittsburgh Riverhounds still searching for their first 3 points of the year. Got 45 more minutes before we're going to find out if we can find a victor and hand out 3 points tonight in this 1-1 first half. The fans are enjoying themselves here tonight in a beautiful evening for some soccer in Phoenix. So, Joe, as we get ready for this second half, we'll kind of give, we had Lowry's lowdown at the start. I always like to ask you, get any revisions, any tweaks?
Sure.
You know, you had the rough draft in the first half. What have you got for the second half for these two? Is certainly both of these clubs are going to want to try to find a winner.
Killian taking on the editor role with great ease. Phoenix Rising, it hasn't been that midfield three that they're coming up against from a Pittsburgh perspective. It's not that 5-3-2 defensive shape from Bob Lilly. It is a 4-4-2, so I will gladly take this opportunity to revise. Phoenix have played a lot down the left side so far tonight. They've mostly funneled play down that left, 39% of their attacking actions coming in that left vertical third of the field. through Gabby Torres, a lesser extent through Darius Formella, and through Fede Varela, drifting over to that side. Getting those three on the ball off of those low-driven passes from John Stenberg, I see more joy coming from that part of the field for Phoenix in the second half.
You have to imagine at some point we'll get a Panos Armanakis sighting for Phoenix Rising. He was electric last weekend. Didn't really do anything that jumped off on the scorer sheet, but just watching him, you could tell that he was a difference maker in that second half against Colorado Springs.
The energy and the quality that he brings at that left foot is unmatched, not just with Phoenix Rising, but probably at the entire USL Championship level. His ability to see and feel the game and provide that final ball is so very real, and we saw it killing on the set piece. He doesn't get the obvious assist, but he plays the corner kick into the box that Formella then hits, falls to John Stenberg, and it's 1-0 Phoenix Rising in that second half. Panos Armanakis will play in the second half, and he will help change this game.
Don't forget, this is a Pittsburgh club as well. If they want to make any changes, they've got a few good forwards sitting and waiting to try and loosen up as we're back underway for this second 45. We'll see if we can't find ourselves a victor tonight. As I mentioned, just one home team coming away with all 3 points tonight in the USL Championship. That was Detroit City. The victory tonight as Marboy plays this one. Goes all the way up almost towards us. Might get a little action tonight.
Bring your goalkeeper gloves?
I mean, I'm always ready.
We'll see. We'll see.
It will happen one day this season. This one played in. Kizza trying to go down low, but knocked down by Stenberg. An early moment of stress for Phoenix Rising. And this little slide to keep this one in, but taken right back away as Pittsburgh going to try and jump out in these first couple minutes. This one chipped ahead over the top, set down. Sterling just out of the reach at 2. Fakes the shot, right foot knocked down, up in the air, and a little chip in, but no goal as it looks like they're going to wave it off. Everybody coming together, and it's going to be a booking that comes in. At 2 is the one being booked.
Junior Etu knifing into the box there. Looking for a handball, maybe there from Pop Marboy. Still a crowd around the center referee.
Everybody trying to figure out what is going on. So it went from Pittsburgh thinking they had taken the lead right back. There was a booking, and now trying to sort out whether or not it was indeed a handball. It didn't look like a handball from the angle we had that quick first view.
Certainly not deliberate there from Pop Marboy. That's always the first question when you're looking at a handball. Was it deliberate? Do you move your arm, your hand towards the ball? Didn't really look like it on the couple of looks that we've gotten. But even if not, even if it's not deliberate, did their hand or arm make the body unnaturally bigger? The referee deems that Pop Marboy, it looked like that left elbow, maybe that left arm from the young center back, did make his body unnaturally bigger. Off the shot from Etu. We'll get another look here. Etu on the ball, cuts inside past Lawrence Wyke. Watch the outside arm, that left arm of Pop Marboy. You can see it makes contact, the elbow sort of outstretched from his body. Is the position of the hand or arm justifiable by the body movement of Pop Marboy? It's a tough call. I think the referee's got that one right.
Handball and a penalty opportunity. Sterling has one already, looking for the brace to give his club the lead back. Be a heck of a start to this second half for Pittsburgh. Rios Novos saved one penalty already this season. Sterling, slow walk up, goes left and he misses.
The long run up from Keziah Sterling. Rocco Rios Novo guesses right, but if that one's buried in the top right corner, he's not getting to it. Keziah Sterling just gets under that ball, ends up chipping it a little too high, a little too wide with that right foot. Phoenix Rising somewhat fortunate to see that scoreline still level.
So an excellent start for Pittsburgh. thought they had a goal gets taken away, and then a missed penalty. So an opportunity wasted for the visitors, as Sterling was looking for his second, tried to go to Rios Novo's left and just sent it above the bar. As here's Zambrano trying to place one in towards the back post, as Eric Dick leaps up to snag it out of the air to start his second half.
It is fortunate if you're Phoenix Rising. Pittsburgh coming out of the halftime. They had the energy, they had the aggression. We saw it in an early pressure from Junior Etu off the ball. Then he knifes into the box on his own. Ends up drawing that penalty from Potmar. Boy, Pittsburgh coming out with energy, coming out with ambition in the second half. Now it's up to Phoenix to match.
Zambrano plays to Gallardo, now Lawrence White. Potmar boy will let this one play all the way back to his keeper.
I'm interested to see the positioning of Junior Etu in this second half. Played as a left-sided midfielder in the first half. You see him pressing up against Lawrence White there. But off screen, he's been dropping back into the back line. Again, making it look like more of a back five from Bob Lilly. This Pittsburgh team is comfortable in different looks. Don't be surprised if we see some varied positioning from not just Junior Etu, but also Robbie Mertz on that right side.
Long ball played over the top. It'll be a long run, but easily played back. And fans, you can't watch the match, be sure to turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Zetsu. Winding and spinning around a couple red jerseys. Osmanu. Down up to the right, trying to feed one through on that right side to Mertz, but he's unable to collect it.
That's great defensive range from Jose Andres Hernandez. Not something that he's known for in this Phoenix Rising midfield. A technical player, someone who's going to get you out of tight spots. Showing a second side of himself there.
All ball, that one intercepted by Sample, but too strong of a touch, doesn't go anywhere. Biasi chipped back up ahead. Suber goes and collects, and little bunny hop over a slide tackle. Knocked down, Wyke.
Get a hold of the ball!
Cabral, he had the goal in the first half for Phoenix.
Phoenix looking to establish themselves in possession here, just find their rhythm, getting the ball back to the feet of Rocco Rios Novo, let them set up their possession shape, try to draw Pittsburgh forward, to then look for Fede Varela between the lines or for someone like Gabby Torres over the top.
There is Torres. It's a long run for him as he just has to watch it get touched out. It'll be a throw in to Phoenix, though, in the attacking end. A quick throw in. Wyke wants the ball, they play it to him. Wyke, little touch to Gallardo. Gallardo trying to have to find and collect it. Wyke inside the box, turns, coming in. Jose Andres Hernandez off the post.
You can't get much closer than that if you're Phoenix Rising. Jose Andres Hernandez crashing the box, thought he had one there to put the home side up 2-1. Eric Dick can thank the woodwork.
Not out of the weeds just yet as Phoenix trying to recollect themselves. Zambrano gonna get it out to Gallardo on the right side. Wyke Waits, gets himself some more space. White still going for the attack and now taken down. And it will be a set-piece opportunity in a dangerous location as White takes a moment to get to his feet and limp it off.
And Lawrence Wyke is the one who keys that entire sequence that ends with the Jose Andres Hernandez shot. Stepping forward from that right back position. He does similar here. Getting forward, dancing around one player. Biasi brings him down. Another chance on a set piece coming for Phoenix.
This one for about 20 yards, if that, out. Varela will be the man waiting to take it. You have to imagine one of the targets will be Potmar Boy hanging around that back post.
A little discussion there from Formella and Varela.
We're all getting into it a little bit. Right down there at that south end. Varela, little chip going in, knocked up and down. Gallardo misses the top of goal. He had the whole net open and couldn't find the back.
Erickson Gallardo can't believe it. Cleaning up seconds at that near post after the initial ball from Fede Varela. Lofted in, Eric Dick doesn't do well here. Off the challenge from Remy Cabral. Gallardo tries to pick it out of the air with that right foot. Can't direct it on frame, that's a huge chance.
A couple opportunities for Phoenix and they can't find a goal. Here's that shot again from Andreas Hernandez.
Crashes the box so well, arriving late from central midfield. Tries to guide it into that right side of the net. Just a little too far wide from Jose Andres Hernandez, who, to be fair, doesn't find himself in those spots all that often.
Plays this one ahead, though. Hernandez chipped up Gallardo at the back post, but unable to get to it as that ball just kind of stayed up in the air enough for Dick to settle underneath it.
It's been a great response since that penalty on Potmar Boy, the miss from Keziah Sterling. Almost exclusively one-way traffic for Phoenix, who have had, I think, maybe their strongest game in terms of chance creation of the young 2024 USL Championship season, finding some joy in that 4-2-3-1.
Long ball over the top for a 2. White looks like he lost it for a moment, but able to get back in defense. 2 gets around him. What a move. He can get back to it, and White, a late tackle in from behind. Nicely done to clear that one away, and it will be a Carvana corner kick for Pittsburgh.
Junior Etu having real joy on the left side for Pittsburgh against Lawrence White, who's been defensively solid so far this year. Struggling a little bit with the speed and creativity of Etu.
Fan, this corner is brought to you by Carvana, proud sponsor of the Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy. Pittsburgh, low driven cross. Headed in and now out by Phoenix as Cabral was looking to try and get a little bit of a run. Ball still in behind as Andreas Hernandez chases it down and will elect to play it back through the back line and reset things. Potmar Boy, Gallardo. Tried a little back heel, was expecting some help from Fede Varela, but he wasn't there.
That's some of what Erickson Gallardo brings, though, to that right side. That little bit of flair.
Here's Sterling. Sterling gets it to his right foot. Gets some space. Sterling, low shot, diving save by Rios Novo.
It's a textbook save from Rocco Rios Novo. Does his work early in terms of his positioning, but this is some of the challenge that John Stenberg is going to face this year. The veteran center back doesn't have that top end speed, doesn't have that burst to be able to deal with those kinds of accelerations from opposing attackers. 31 years old, has never been the most athletic player in terms of speed, top end, straight line. It's an area to watch for the veteran.
Pittsburgh making their way forward. Mertz lays it off the right side. Cross coming in at 2 at the back post as he tries to settle it down, but he cannot. like it took a bit of an in-between hop on him, and it will be a goal kick.
Pittsburgh have been more adventurous, pushing numbers forward, even sitting at a pretty comfortable 1-1 scoreline for them. Picking up a road point, it would be 3 straight games with a result. For the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they don't seem content with just 1 point out here in the desert. They're looking for more, which then creates opportunities for Phoenix Rising to find their own looks against a somewhat spread Riverhounds side.
Three losses to open the season for Pittsburgh. Answered back with a couple of draws, as you said, both 0-0. Find their first 3-point evening of the year.
They look hungry for it. They look like they're going to continue to push throughout the remaining 30-plus minutes of this game, which will create opportunities on one end or the other.
Biasi getting up and involved in the attack now for Pittsburgh. Starting to see this back line pressure just a little bit higher.
And Biasi, that right footer, playing on the left side of the back line as he's done this season, presents some interesting challenges for Pittsburgh as they try to build.
Our boy takes it away, and that pass just too far away. Cabral a little frustrated. He would have had a good opportunity, a potential 4-on-3. Sample. Set down a little. Sterling. Mertz feeds it to the far end. Intercepted, nice knocking that pass down. Here's Cabral. This is where he's dangerous, but he can't get the turn as it was headed away from him.
Watch through the center of your screen. Phoenix Rising trying to find a little bit of pressure there through Fede Varela. They've been back in this defensive block for a little too long, looking to get their foot on the ball to try to influence the game.
Pittsburgh's been in control the last couple minutes. This one's sent ahead. Biasi on the left side. Biasi getting a little fancy with the footwork, but nicely job being knocked down by Wyke. Stayed in front of him the whole way. This one chipped through at 2. Crossed over and set down. And make it 2-1 Pittsburgh. Rios Novo looking for a flag. It's Edward Kizza.
Pittsburgh again showing their class in the final third. A great outside of the football. The junior Etu, who's been so sharp in this second half, earns the penalty kick. Pittsburgh not left wanting on this sequence inside the box. Etu plays it across. Kizza finishes. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Kizza, his second on the year. As the Ugandan native puts his side back on top for the second time this evening, much to the frustration of Rocco Rios Novo.
And I'll add to that, Killian, Danny Stone. You almost wonder if he's thinking about shifting to a different defensive shape. The 4-2-3-1 has helped create some nice, clean looks in the attack. But Pop Marboy and John Stenberg struggling in this numbers-even situation against Keziah Sterling and Edward Kizza. As Junior Etu gets more and more involved in this game, it's becoming more and more difficult for Phoenix Rising's 2 center backs to stay in those defensive moments. They're scrambling, not enough help coming from Renzo Zambrano, not enough help coming from Lawrence Wyke or Gabby Torres in the fullback spots. I would not be surprised if Danny Stone tucks Lawrence Wyke back into that pure right-sided center back position.
Fede Varela trying to turn to his right. Probably should have gone to the left. It took Phoenix 2 minutes to answer last time. See if they have a similar response. Pittsburgh, though, looking hungry to try and add a third goal on. Playing it all the way to Etu again if he can get to it. And he just nearly kept it in. And Joe, this is where that man right there, tactical genius in terms of this is where you get dangerous if you're Danny Stone, because We know that Bob Lilly, he likes to play around. He can play different sets, and if he wants to, he can just look at his side and say, you know what, let's sit down. We're comfortable playing defense. Let's see if we can hold on to this thing for the next 30 minutes.
It'll be fascinating to see when Pittsburgh drop and how deep they drop once they do. This is a Riverhounds team that's incredibly comfortable sitting back, playing against the ball, trying to attack in transition. They haven't had to do too much of that tonight. Both of their goals have come off of nice sustained sequences in the final third. Quick passing, good combination play, good 1v1 ability inside the box. When they shut things down, life will get more difficult in the attack for Phoenix Rising.
So we have a few subs getting ready for the hosts. Throw in, chipped up and around, right back out. Expecting to see some fresh legs here any moment for Phoenix. Popmar boy. Gallardo was calling for it if he can get to it, and Gallardo unable to collect that ball.
Popmar boy finds Remy Cabral on the goal for Phoenix Rising in the first half. That's the second one, though, of those long balls he's tried to play over the top to release one of those right-siders for Phoenix Rising. The big developmental area for Popmar boy, as nice as that ball was in the first 45 minutes, is his play in possession. Can't he find the right weight on those passes to release his teammates over the top?
For fans, the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch the live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. As Kiza comes back the other direction, looking to try and add on a third. Nice little pass over to Eto. Eto crossed in. Rios Novo just has to punch it up and out. As Gabby Torres going to take it, get rid of the danger for the moment, as there is a player down for Phoenix in a heap.
Yeah, it's Erickson Gallardo down on that right side. Tries to turn out of that tight spot. Kiza dispossesses him here on the near side. Gallardo now back to his feet.
Gallardo looked like he just kind of took a shoulder to the chin as Kiza came through him, as it will be Edgardo Rito getting ready to check in. It'll be Juan Carlos Azocar coming in for Gallardo. Gabby Torres will come off. Edgardo Rito comes in. And then here is Panos Armanakis. He'll be coming in replacing Fede Varela.
Curious what the shape is going to be after these subs for Phoenix Rising. I mentioned maybe shifting to that back three look. We see the two wing backs that Phoenix Rising went out to acquire in the offseason. Edgardo Rito up on the right side. Juan Carlos Azocar over on the left. Looks like we might see Panos Armanakis tuck into this right half space opposite of Formella, and Rising go back to that 3-4-3 shape that they've used for most of this season.
Armanakis going to trot on over and give a quick instruction to Remy Cabral.
It does look like Lawrence Wyke is staying deeper as that right-sided center back to give Rito that entire right wing and to allow Panos Armanakis to drift a bit wider as well.
See if the changes made for Danny Stone can help his side find the equalizer for the second time tonight.
And this is a huge moment for the attack for Phoenix Rising. They've had good looks tonight, but for maybe the first time at home all season long, it's the attack that's going to have to try to bail out the defense. This is new territory.
Long ball played over the top, looking for Azocar. This one's set down, but nicely done defensively. Quick throw-in played by Phoenix. Popmar boy set down, looking for Cabral. Cabral tried to turn and get around. Another good entrance pass by Popmar boy, and it leads to a Carvana corner kick.
Yeah, Popmar boy heard me talking about his distribution and said, all right, watch this. Plays that nice line breaker with the right foot. That's a great bit of play from Popmar boy.
Here's Armanakis. Trying Trying to get everybody's attention to ready up for this corner on the near side. Play it short, Andres Hernandez. He's going to send it in right in the middle of the box. Nobody there waiting though, as it's headed up, but not fully out. Ramanakis looking for somewhere to go with that left foot. That one threaded through, headed right into the arms of Dick. That was one Carlos Azocar, a little diving header.
It's a great ball from Panos Ramanakis, that dangerous bending left-footed in-swinger. Substitute to substitute. Danny Stone's changes having an early impact.
That was a sneaky little play by Juan Carlos Azocar. Barely even saw him.
He's popped up in so many of those spots this season. Has basically played all the way across both wings for Rising.
This one settled down. Zambrano tried to play through, but knocked down and intercepted. Kizza elects to play it back. Sterling and Kizza, the goal scorers tonight for Pittsburgh. Sterling got us going in the 26th. Kizza took the lead back in the 62nd. Lone goal for Phoenix off the boot of Remy Cabral. This one taken away. Phoenix trying to find an equalizer. Azocar, this one chipped in. Cabral chested up to nowhere. Sterling collects and tries to turn and get things back out away from his own end. Stop, touch, and turn. Collides with Zambrano. Zambrano takes the worst of it. Kizza comes away with the ball.
Great strength there from Edward Kizza against Phoenix Rising stronger defensive midfielder out there right now, Renzo Zambrano.
Sample tries a little 1-2. The man who's been all over the place. He's been really a catalyst tonight. Junior at 2.
See Azocar's pinched all the way into that left half space. I mentioned it a moment ago, but someone who likes to go and find space. Wherever he sees fit, he'll stay wide at times, he'll tuck inside at times. Hoping that movement is going to unbalance Pittsburgh.
White sends a cross in towards the back post as Dick has to dive out and just punch it away.
Again, it's the run of Juan Carlos Azocar into the box. Popping up in all sorts of spaces. A teasing outswinger there from Lawrence White.
Joe, you kind of get the feeling the way that these last couple minutes, the way the second half has gone as a whole, we haven't seen the end of the scoring tonight.
No, certainly not, as Pittsburgh ready some subs as well, including USL Championship legend Bernardo Forbes.
Chested down, trying to find somewhere to go. Formella heads it back. Cabral finding somewhere to go with it, can't get it. Formella though, one touch onto his left foot and down and just wide.
Remy Cabral, maybe just one touch too many inside the 18 there, can't get something off cleanly. You'll see the flick there from Formella. That's good defending from Pat Hogan as well inside the box for Pittsburgh. Formella gets back on the ball and laces one with that left foot, but it goes wide.
Here are the subs. King Kenny Canardo Forbes will be coming in. Langston Blackstock enters the match as well. Super comes off. Abakar Dien will enter. So a couple forwards coming on for Pittsburgh.
Got Blackstock with his speed over on that right side, opposite now of Junior Etu. There's pace on both sides for Pittsburgh. Still not done maybe in this match.
This one chipped ahead. Edgardo Rito has to chase down to play that ball. Chip just ahead. Armanakis, nifty little play to get it back, and it'll be a throw-in. So not the substitutions I think you would have imagined from Coach Bob Lilly. Maybe would have expected maybe going a little more defensive. Seems like Pittsburgh's trying to go and press for another one.
Yeah, they've dropped their line of confrontation a little bit as the second half has worn on. But in terms of the substitutions, they're not really deviating. We're seeing Junior Etu drop back a little bit deeper at times to form that 5, but they're not fully shutting up shop just yet.
As Okar tries to chase it down. Now he's going to pester, but nothing building there for Phoenix.
Rising have done a fairly good job over the last 5-10 minutes of keeping Pittsburgh pinned in. That's also a little bit of a shift from Bob Lilly, allowing his side to sit a little bit deeper. Phoenix, though, controlling the ball, controlling possession in the latter stages, which is exactly what they need to do as they're chasing.
This one, low cross, Cabral, back heel, but nowhere to go, as Armanakis, though, comes back with it. Lots of red tops forward. Wyke working his way ahead. Wyke lays off for Rito. Wyke, left-footed cross is too high for everybody, as we'll have another substitution. Emi Quayshow readying to enter. So Quayshow going to come on for Darius Formella.
His first appearance since that red card on the road in that hectic 3-3 draw against FC Tulsa. Phoenix Rising ended that game down a man after a challenge in midfield from Emil Quayshow. This is a pure energy play from Danny Stone. Quayshow has a couple of key goals in the playoffs for Phoenix on that miraculous run last season, but is not a consistent attacking threat in the way that Formella is. Formella not super impactful tonight, but Quayshow will bring that defensive energy in the counter press, as Rising have shifted to this 3-4-3 shape, trying to smother Pittsburgh as the Riverhounds move forward to create as many chances as possible in the final third.
Fresh legs out for Quayshow as well. As you mentioned, did not play last week after that red card in Tulsa. That match in Tulsa was a 3-3 draw. A brace from Remy Cabral salvaged a point for the visitors. Armanakis just a bit too far away from him, but Armanakis intercepts that one. Here comes Cabral. Cabral waiting up for some help. He's got Armanakis to his right. Gets it off. Armanakis right back post. Not out of danger just yet. Rito gives it back to Panos. Panos played back through. Rito, if he can get there, and played up, and it will be a corner. This Phoenix Rising team looking dangerous yet again in the final 15 minutes.
And it's all starting on the left foot of Panos Armanakis. His defensive energy, adding a little bit more work rate in that right-sided half space, and then getting forward along with Remy Cabral.
Armanakis swings this one in, headed down and just over the bar.
Yet another chance on a set piece for Phoenix Rising. It's a great ball into the box. An in-swinger on the left foot from Panos Armanakis. Popmar boy rises on the weak side of the box. Can't quite direct that one on frame. It's been the story of the night on those set pieces. The key, Killian, for Phoenix Rising in these last 12-plus minutes. It sounds simple. Truly is get the ball to Panos Armanakis in that right half space. Let Edgardo Rito run off of him like we saw just a moment ago in the box. Let Remy Cabral run off of him. He's brought something different to this game off the bench.
Here's Quayshow chipping it up ahead for Asokar. Play it back, Andreas Hernandez. Phoenix pressing those numbers forward, trying to find a second goal tonight. Our boy, the lone man, back in the midfield circle. Quayshow. Little chip ahead, but miscommunication there. As it's out, it'll be right back to a throw-in. Remember, fans, eFootball 2024 is here. You can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play, so go download it now.
Phoenix trying to find their footing to get back into this game. They feel the pressure of the clock ticking, trying to clean up some of those plays through midfield. Emil Quayshow with a slipped ball a few moments ago, a turnover on that left side, and then just a little bit of sloppiness on the right side. Rising trying to build through their possession right now.
10 minutes left. Ball taken away, nicely done by Sample. This one played ahead. Here's Danek. Gets it off to his right foot. He's going to try a curler back towards that far post, but just wide.
Good defending there from Lawrence White, cutting off the best angles towards goal for DN. Not much in that strike.
Show set down, Andreas Hernandez. Armanakis. Armanakis wants to send one through. Azokar just a step away.
Phoenix Rising looking for that ball over the top when Panos is on it in that right half space. You can see Remy Cabral throw up a hand. It's Azokar who makes the run, coming in from the left wing. Just inches between the outstretched foot of Juan Carlos Azokar and that ball in.
Fans, the reigning USL champs Phoenix Rising FC host Sacramento Republic FC on May 4th right here at 38th in Washington. Come cheer them to victory here in Central Phoenix. Be there for every pass, every stop, every goal, and every win. Starting at just $15 a seat. There's a place for everyone. Get your tickets at phxrisingfc.com. We are Phoenix Rising, Todos Rojos. May the 4th, 7:30 kick. It's the Republic.
It's a game that's going to test Phoenix. Sacramento, one of the top teams, not just in the West, but also in the entire USL Championship. It's going to test Phoenix. A lot like the last 10 minutes or so of this game. Will for Phoenix Rising. Still a lot of work left to do.
Still a lot of time left in this match tonight. There's Armanakis, good turn to get himself some space. Rito, a little bit of room on this near side. Rito will wait up. As he will send this one in towards the back. Collision, Dick goes down. Cabral cleans it up. Still waiting to hear if Cabral has tied this match up. As Usmanu is down, they're going to have the physio come and take a look at him.
It's Emil Quayshow who makes contact with Eric Dick as Dick comes off his line. Off the ball from Edgardo Rito. Watch the contact here from Quayshow. Cabral pounces on it and finishes. The ref pulls that one back.
So no goal. The hometown crowd not a fan of it.
Looks like just a little contact on the left arm of Eric Dick as he comes off his line to claim that ball into the box from Edgardo Rito. Remy Cabral, so sharp, so quick to pounce on that ball. The referee calls it off.
There's Alal Osumanu being checked out that right leg. As Cabral checking on Osumanu, the two came together and collided. Going after that ball, Dick tried to come out as well, and it was almost just like a car crash in an intersection. All three guys going full speed.
Substitution.
There's one last sub, looks like Giulio Doratiotto, the young Italian coming in.
He'll add a little more size to the Phoenix Rising midfield. We've seen joy off of crosses tonight. Giulio, still just 19 years old, coming over from the Juventus system over in Italy. Trying to find his footing at the USL Championship level. There's a lot of work still left to do for him, and he knows it. But he does bring real value when it comes to physicality to close out games. Watch him making those late arriving runs into the box.
So no goal, it'll remain 2-1 Pittsburgh. As Osumanu will try and work out that knock on the far end of the field. Pittsburgh will be with 10 men at least for the moment. Osumanu looks like he's okay though on that far side. Have to wait and see when the officials let him back on, and they do now. That one, no whistle, as Cabral gets taken from over the top. Armanakis, little fancy footwork, trying to get himself some space. Jed knocked down. Doratiotto trying to play ahead for Cabral. Cabral chips back out. Stenberg up and involved. Andreas Hernandez looking for Rito on the back post. Rito leaps up into the air, but too high as Cabral can't get to it.
And now you see how far back Pittsburgh have pushed their line of confrontation. They've got all 10 outfield players, everybody back inside their own defensive third. And what does that do? Well, it restricts the space over the top. You see Edgardo Rito try to make that run. Just not a lot of space for him to get that ball on his right foot and play it across. Squeezing the game right now, Pittsburgh.
This is one where if you're down in that Pittsburgh dugout, you're tightening up the seatbelt just that much more.
Same thing, nothing changes. Same thing. Come on, boys, finish
Cabral
it off.
tries to turn. The two go sliding in as he ran right into Pat Hogan. Trying to reverse field, as you said. Rito able to keep it. Armanakis looking to go right back to him, but he'll play it back to Wyke instead. Two subs waiting to come on for Pittsburgh. So we played 87 in Phoenix tonight. Armanakis continues to search with that left foot. That one, poor pass, intercepted. Our boy going to chase this one all the way back and just head it back to his keeper.
Just not much space again for Phoenix Rising to attack into. This Pittsburgh team has been so effective over the years at dropping their line, shutting things down, not just late in games, but at times in the first half. They played a more open game tonight, but this is back to something they know very, very well.
This one intercepted, now slipping down as it goes right back to Pop Marboy.
That's fortunate. It's the young Senegalese center back. Misplays that ball, gets right back on it.
Now Doratiotto, a turnover. The end plays it ahead. There's that two. That two coming forward. That one chipped right off the side of the head of Wyke, and it'll be a throw-in as Pittsburgh can take a few more moments. Let some more clock wind off.
Yeah, both for the throw-in, for the couple of subs that we're seeing on the near side.
So the Aiden O'Toole entering in for Pittsburgh, as well as Danny Rovira, the Colombian. So the goal scorer, Kiza, comes off. As it stands right now, the game-winning goal, the second of the year from Edward Kiza. taken away, now headed back up. Two, back on his left wing, low, sliding pass coming all the way in. Yeah, and he slots it home for a third, and that will do it for the night.
Babacar Dieng, the substitute, coming up big for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Had the assist on the lone goal for Pittsburgh coming into tonight. But again, it's the danger man, Junior Etu, with that left foot. Sloppy play in the box from Phoenix Rising's Lawrence Wyke. The ball ends up at the foot of Babacar Dieng, who makes no mistake.
Calm, cool, and collected from the Senegal native. Picks up his first goal on the year. And it is the third of the night in the 89th, and that should just about do it, as 6 minutes will be added on tonight.
It's a lot of stoppage time, Killian, but 2 goals is a big hole for this Phoenix Rising side. The first time at home we've seen the defense falter in 2024. Lawrence Wyke can't deal with that ball properly inside the 18. Pressure's been building all evening long through Junior Etu on the left side for Pittsburgh, the right side for Phoenix. They've had attacking looks, Phoenix Rising, but defensively have struggled to control their own box. It's a hard recipe to turn into a success.
All fed back to White. A tough night to be a home team in the USL Championship, as Rito awaits this ball. Phoenix will see if they can't find a goal here in the next minute or so, make things a little spicy in these final few minutes. So Carr. Way back. This one sent in towards Tioto. A little spinning kick, as that one goes nowhere near goal, though.
Taking a page out of Edgardo Rito's book, but that ball he played in the final third against Tulsa on the wing. Little spin cycle action from the Italian.
So as it stands, a big victory tonight for Pittsburgh. It'll be their first on the year, picking up 3 points on this long Western road trip. They might not be done. This one fed through, but Rocco Rios Novo quickly scoops it up and gets it back in play. Danny Stone going to try and help his club out. Look for the 1-2. Giotto taken down. This one chipped up. Cabral leaps up. Collision, but Eric Dick falls on top of it. And turtle that ball for a moment.
You've got to wonder what the response is for Phoenix Rising. As we catch the replay here, John Stenberg pushing forward. Juan Carlos Azocar swinging that ball into the box. You've got to wonder what the response is for Phoenix Rising. Not necessarily in the last 3 minutes tonight. Little too late for this club, but thinking about the game on short rest. Away to the expansion side, Rhode Island FC, a long road trip. A lot of miles both put on the legs and put on the airline. What are the changes that Danny Stone decides to make? Does he make any changes at all after going a little more aggressive with his personnel in this 4-2-3-1 to start the match tonight, with Gabby Torres moving from the wing back to his left back spot? Erickson Gallardo, of course, starting the game on the right side. It seems to me that so much of this match has changed with Panos Romanakis on the field. Fede Varela not bad in the first half either. But will there be an opportunity for this Phoenix Rising side to be a little more aggressive, to try to dictate the game, whether that's with 110 on the field or 2 of them? Will Stone put Panos Romanakis back into that starting 11? It's a huge story for this club. Again, one of the top creators in the championship. Moved to the bench last weekend against Colorado Springs in that narrow victory for Phoenix. how Stone decides to allocate minutes to his attacking midfield playmakers should have an outsized role on how Phoenix Rising fare in 2024, and we're already seeing it.
And it's something that, Joe, we've talked about the last couple of weeks. It's a good problem to have when you have a lot of starter quality guys on your club, but the tough thing is there's only so many minutes and you can only play 10 outfield players at one time, so you have to figure out who's going to play when.
Yeah, it's not an easy decision. Managing a big squad, lots of quality contributors, guys that feel like, and understandably so, they deserve minutes. You can't blame them for that whatsoever. But it's hard to look at a guy like Panos Armanakis, to look at a guy like Erickson Gallardo, who I thought was sharp tonight. The wingbacks, you think about Edgardo Rito getting forward on that right side, Juan Carlos Azocar looking like an impact player. Sure, some of that is game state with Rising owning the majority of the possession in key areas in this second 45. I don't envy Danny Stone in his decision-making. He's got a big squad full of talented guys.
See if Phoenix can't find one here in the closing moments of this match. And it will be a corner, so an opportunity to maybe get one of them back. One more Carvana corner kick for you. Chip. Sazokar. That one doesn't go anywhere, out for goal kick. And on the other side, question for this Pittsburgh club. We mentioned top team in the league a year ago. 67 points, 19 victories. Look at what they've got coming up ahead. Could this be a catalyst for this team to start to try and make a run in a very top-heavy and loaded Eastern Conference?
It certainly seems that way. And you look at how the front two for Babali played tonight between Keziah Sterling, even with that missed penalty in Edward Kizza. They've been the first team at home this year to really cause problems for Phoenix Rising's strong center back group. This Pittsburgh team has talent through the spine, and then you look at a guy like Junior Etu, who's looked so good on the left wing. Can play as a wing back, can play on either side, can play a little higher up as we've seen him tonight. There's talent in this Pittsburgh squad to cause real problems in the Eastern Conference.
Etu might not have all the numbers on the stat sheet tonight, but certainly a sensational performance from the Frenchman. Well deserving for Team of the Week mentions possibility, as there is the final whistle, and that is officially a 3-1 victory for Pittsburgh, their first of the year, taking 3 points on the road in the Valley of the Sun, as Bob Lilly's club, a good win thanks to 3 goals. Keziah Sterling with the first, Edward Kizza with the second, and Babakar Dieng puts it away in the 90th to take down the defending champions. So a 3-1, handshakes and high fives all around, and hands on hips for the hosts as they will go back to the drawing board before they hit the road. We're going to take one more break. We'll be right back to wrap things up for you here in Phoenix. A 3-1 Pittsburgh victory.
Your health shouldn't depend on where you live, which language you speak, or the size of your paycheck. Everyone deserves access to high-quality care for a healthy life. At Equality Health, we partner with primary care providers to break down barriers to care and build healthy communities. Better health for all, the real game-winning goal. Equality Health is the season-presenting sponsor of the Phoenix Rising and proud sponsor of the Rising Community Soccer Clinics.
Well, it's finally happening. The robots. They're coming.
Hi, Amory.
Maybe that's a good thing.
She said what? She said what? I was ready like a full 20 minutes before you. What are you talking about?
It drives better than you do, babe.
He does. Bye, robot.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana, enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Back at 38th in Washington, full-time 3-1. Pittsburgh Riverhounds picks up their first victory on the year over Phoenix Rising. There was the man, the eventual game winner, Edward Kizza, his second goal on the year. As Pittsburgh comes away with the 3 points, Killian McClatchy, Joe Lowry here to wrap things up for you tonight. Joe, was a night that we expected some fireworks. We got some. Phoenix started off well, but Pittsburgh, they came out of the halftime break as we got the highlights from this match for you. Pittsburgh just seemed like they wanted it just that little bit more in the second half.
Yeah, and so sharp in the 18 from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds tonight. Junior Etu, incredibly good on that left side for Bob Lilly. Edward Kizza digging for Pittsburgh, putting them up 1-0.
And then here is, that's the one in the 90th, Babacar at the end, the super sub coming in. Hit him a little Sue to end the night. A big 3-1 win. Those were the 2 goals in that second half. Remy Cabral, the lone goal scorer for Phoenix Rising. As here are some of the final numbers for you to kind of wrap this thing up, Joe.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the stats here. Phoenix Rising still with the lion's share of the ball, and they had the majority of the shots as well, 19-10. Good looks for Phoenix in the attack. Just a little too late for this Rising side. Credit to Pittsburgh. They didn't have the same amount of chances, but the quality very, very high, both in the first half with that goal from Keziah Sterling and in the second half from their other 2 forwards.
And Phoenix had a few opportunities. You had the goal that was taken off the board. They had the post that was Jose Andres Hernandez, had one hit essentially the utmost inside of the post that you possibly could and not find its way into the back of the net. Then a few other opportunities. Erickson Gallardo, an open net that he missed, and unfortunately unable to come away with any of those goals. Well, Pittsburgh, a big 3-1 win. I want to say a big thanks to our entire crew here on site and everybody back in the Bitfire studios. For my partner, Joe Lowry, my name is Killian McClatchy. I want to thank you for watching this presentation of the USL Championship.